This is your December 2023 housing market update for Calgary. Now, strong migration and low supply have been driving the Calgary housing and the pricing in 2023. Sales in 2023 did ease relative to last year's peak, but with 27,416 sales, levels were still far higher than long-term trends and activity reported before the pandemic. And while sales stayed relatively strong, there was a notable shift in activity toward more affordable apartment condominium style units. Higher lending rates dampened housing demand this year. But thanks to strong migration levels, housing demand remained relatively strong, especially for affordable options in our market. This is coming from our chief economist, Anne-Marie Laurie at CREB. And at the same time, supply levels were low compared to the demand throughout the year, resulting in stronger than expected price growth. Now, inventory levels were persistently below long-term trends throughout the city for most of the year, averaging a 44% decline over the 10-year average. We also saw the months of supply remain well below 2 months throughout most of the year across homes priced below $1 million. Now, the persistently tight conditions contributed to our city's new record high price, while the average annual benchmark price growth did slow from 12% in 2022 to nearly 6% growth in 2023. The price growth was still relatively strong, especially compared to some markets in the country. Okay, so let's jump into the detached market here in Calgary. So with an annual decline of nearly 20%, the detached market saw most of the significant declines in sales activity. While sales did improve for homes priced above $700,000, limited supply choices in the lower price ranges caused buyers to turn to alternative housing styles. Now, despite some recent gains in higher priced new listings, inventories have remained near record lows, and the months of supply have remained relatively low throughout all of 2023. The persistently tight market conditions have supported further price growth for detached homes, albeit at a slower pace than last year. On average, the benchmark price rose by nearly 8% in 2023, with the most significant gains occurring in the city's most affordable districts. Now let's look at the semi-detached market. Like the detached sector, year-over-year sales growth since May was not enough to offset the pullbacks at the beginning of the year, leaving 2023 sales down by 10%. Now, the decline in sales was driven by pullbacks for homes priced under $500,000. While sales improved for higher priced properties, the decline in the lower price range was primarily due to limited supply choices, preventing stronger sales. Now, persistently tight market conditions this year caused prices to trend up throughout most of the year. On an annual basis, the benchmark price rose by 7% over last year, and that's a slower gain than the 12% reported in 2022, but still relatively strong. Now, price growth ranged from a low of 6% in the city center to over 16% in the East District. Now, row properties or your townhome type properties, there was limited supply choices in the lower price ranges, and this contributed to the pullback in sales in 2023. Annual sales declined by over 11% despite rising sales for homes priced above $400,000. Now, while new listings did show signs of improving in the second half of the year, all of the gains were reported in the higher price ranges, causing relatively more balanced conditions in the upper price ranges versus the seller's market conditions in the lower price ranges. Conditions favored the seller throughout the year, supporting an annual benchmark gain of over 13%. Prices improved across each district, ranging from a low of 11% in the city center to over 20% price growth in both the Northeast and East districts. Now, apartment condominium style properties, they were the only property type to report a gain in sales this year, resulting in a record high of 7,884 sales. The growth in sales was possible thanks to the higher starting point for inventory levels and gains in new listings. Now, however, conditions tightened throughout the year, favoring the seller and driving price growth. Apartment condominium prices finally recovered from their 2014 high earlier this year and have pushed above those levels, reaching a new record high of $321,400. This was done by December. On an annual basis, the 2023 benchmark price rose by over 13%, a faster pace than the annual growth levels reported last year. All right, well, let's look at our regional metro market stats and facts. Let's start with Airdrie. Now, Airdrie, primarily due to pullbacks for detached homes, sales in Airdrie declined by 24% over last year's record high. Low inventory levels and a pullback in new listings have somewhat limited sales. While new listings have risen over last year's levels for the past 4 months, they are still 24% below last year, and the decline in sales and new listings ensured inventories remained low this year, declining over last year's and falling to the lowest annual average levels seen since 2006. Now, for the third year in a row, conditions in Airdrie have generally favored the seller. This has driven further price gains this year, albeit at a slower pace. On an annual basis, the benchmark price rose by nearly 5%, and this year the price growth for row and apartment-style properties has been more than double that reported in the detached and semi-detached sectors. All right, now moving into Cochrane. Both sales and new listings in Cochrane fell over last year's levels. However, recent gains in new listings relative to sales did help support some inventory gains. And while inventory levels have improved over the low levels reported last year, they remain over 40% below what we traditionally see in the Cochrane market. The recent shifts in new listings relative to sales have helped the months of supply stay above 2 months since September. However, conditions are still relatively tight and prices continue to rise. While the growth was stronger in the higher density sectors of the market, the detached benchmark prices increased by 4% in 2023 over last year. All right, let's check out Okotoks. Supply has been a challenge in Okotoks, impacting sales and prices. While we have seen some improvements lately regarding the level of new listings compared to sales, inventories have remained near record lows and averaged 63% below long-term trends on an annual basis. Conditions have remained relatively tight throughout most of the year, especially throughout the busier spring season. Despite some monthly variation, prices generally trended up this year and on an annual basis rose by over 6%. All right, now, if you're looking to buy your dream home or an investment property or make a move, I can help you simplify the home buying and selling process. My name is Danny Green, and I'm your local Calgary realtor with MV Real Estate Group, RE/MAX First. I specialize in helping homeowners and home buyers navigate the real estate market in Calgary, Alberta, so they can move into a better home and improve their quality of life without having to worry about a thing. My email is danny@calgarysagent.com. My phone number is 403-605-6626. You can also DM me on Facebook. Just search Danny Green, or you can DM me on Instagram. My username is @CalgarysAgent. And even if you're not looking to buy or sell a home right now, but you want to learn about the market, the process, and other mistakes to avoid and best practices to do, subscribe to my YouTube channel because I create lots of educational content, and click on the bell icon so you get notified when a new video comes out. Or again, just reach out. I love helping people. I love real estate. And thank you for watching your December 2023 Calgary Real Estate Market Update.